Well, hey, good Tuesday evening to everyone. How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. I hope you're all doing well. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, the Dungeon Delver, your host for the next length of time. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're somebody who's been a long-time subscriber, welcome back. I hope you are all well. You know, I try not to lean too much on this because it's not really something I can do anything about. Other than just kind of ride the waves, see where it takes me. But I do want to mini rant just a little bit about YouTube's monetization, just because I think it's funny. If you dig around on YouTube, anywhere, look up any topic, there is some pretty vile stuff out there. There is actual, how should I say this without just completely getting the plug yanked? Material that is not suitable for a young crowd on YouTube, and you know what I mean. You can find it out there if you look hard enough. There's just the amount of bad on YouTube is pretty funny, and it's out there by the bushel full. It's the Wild West. When I was checking the subscriber count today, which I always do because I always want to see those new faces coming in. You know, I like that we keep the old, and I like to see new faces. And I happened to look at the little page that shows the list of videos. And I did that so I could copy the links to Patreon and Subscribestar and the Bards of Greyhawk webpage and paste it in rather than going in and typing it all manually. In addition to checking the viewer count. Now, in the big listo videos, I could see that last night's video has been partially, I almost said fully, that would not be the truth, partially demonetized. It has been put on a list of limited advertisers. I'm not going to bother to ask why at this point. I said a dirty word in the Twilight 2000 video that I thought they knocked because I said Russian tank missile destroy a lot in that video. Oh, I know, Vincent. I was there. I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago. But I just think it's funny. Of all the horrible out there, the buckets full of horrible, the people who should have gotten their throats cut a long time ago in Minecraft, figuratively speaking, YouTube saw fit to partially demonetize a video where I mourn the loss of a dear friend and then talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I just think that's funny. I hope you guys will enjoy the fun. Was it because I had a beer on screen? That it was deemed improper? I don't know. But what I do think is even more funny is that you know, one super chat probably got me more monetization than this entire month's worth of monetization on all the hundreds of videos I have on YouTube. I do remember that. We have talked about that before on the show. Operation Sundog or Sunburst or Starburst or Sunburn or something like that, where they patted themselves on the back for shutting down a major computer crime organization, a bunch of pen and paper tabletop gaming dorks out in Texas. Well done. I hope you all feel like your tax dollars were at work there. What a mess that was. But anyway, again, I just found it funny, a little bit irritating. So we move on. We move on to new irritations. I was a little unsure. What exactly I would talk about last night to you guys. Tonight to you guys. Wow. Because I think last night, now I said we would further look at D3, but honestly, I think the look at D3 was really pretty much the cat's pajamas. I don't go back and watch my videos a lot, but I really, really think I brought it home how awesome D3 is. Now, Q1 is going to require a hard look all its own. And to that end, I want to study up and give it a good look. I didn't want to just bring it on for the hour before we play AD&D tonight. I want to give it a real good, serious, solid look. So that's going to happen maybe tomorrow night, but we'll see. We'll see. But what is happening later this week? Thursday, Steve Marsh will be here, guys. Steve TSR Marsh will be here, and we're going to have a good time talking to Steve. Going to get the info. And then, of course, Friday, we'll play some Gamble World. And then on Saturday, I don't care what you guys do because I won't be here. And the same goes for Sunday and Monday. Now, I had mentioned last night that I was thinking about also streaming the show on Twitch. Some people are saying you can't. That Twitch will not allow you to multi-stream. I haven't looked at it recently. I don't know if they still say that's a no-no or not, but I'll figure it out. And if I can't, then I won't. Or I'll set up another camera on that PC over there, and I'll just stream to Twitch from that PC. I'll figure it out. Let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Yes, buckets full of horrible is a favorite saying of mine. The TSR Grenadier Dragon mini box art looks great. If you had the mini assembled, it would look nice to see it up close. I do have that mini assembled, but it's just assembled and primed. I'd really like to paint it before I show it off. Now, the one thing about that is the way Grenadier has it is you are supposed to base the mini on the treasure pile, or you could base the mini on the treasure pile. I honestly don't see how you could use the mini without basing it on something. But they're like, hey, drill a hole in the foot. And then drill a hole in the base and use a brass rod. They specified a length of brass rod, not a nail, not a screw, not a wooden peg, a brass rod. Hello, Damien. But I like the treasure pile that came with that model so much that I want it separate from the dragon. So I actually bought a secret weapon miniatures 60 millimeter base that's just like sand, it's just kind of a coarse plaster texture with a kind of a hump in the middle to put a length of nail through, actually, that I dremeled the ends off of to hold the dragon up. So that's its base now. But I'll get it painted up one of these days, one of these decades, and I will show it to you guys. But that will happen. Yes, that will happen. Just not right now. I don't like showing off just primed mini. It's part of the wall of shame right now. Take a look here real quick. That should not be there. Hang on a second. There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know why that popped up. If I bring this back up, will it pop back on the screen? Yes, it did. It shouldn't. Why is that? Hang on a second. Just a minute, y'all. My apologies. There we go. I don't know what the hell all that was about. It wasn't on there before, was it? All right, let me see something real quick. I always have people messaging me, even when I'm live streaming. And I don't mind that, by the way, if it's not a world-ending situation. Inception stream. Bomb. Oh, I'm going to get copyright dinged for that. That's the Inception sound. No, I do have something I want to talk about. This is my co-host Kyle, which I don't know if Kyle's going to be joining us for D&D tonight. Kyle, if you're out there and you want to hop in, that's awesome. But I wanted to read this. One of the bully pulpits that I will get on this show from time to time when I'm not talking about Dungeons and Dragons or other classic role-playing games is the importance of getting paid for what you do as a writer. Let me preface this by saying, if I kind of walk in two places at once here, I'm happy that many people got enjoyment from the AD&D modules that I was putting out really before anybody else was doing AD&D trade dress homebrew modules. All right. You go back to 2002, 2003, nobody was doing what I was doing. Nobody was. You might have homebrew adventures being passed around, or you could take third edition stuff and deconvert it down to AD&D, or second edition stuff and deconvert it down to AD&D, or basic and up convert it to AD&D, or whatever. But when it came to brand new, classic look, classic feel, classic style modules, I was the guy doing it and nobody else. And then suddenly, around 2005, 2006, it became this huge breakout thing. So I put those modules out there, and I put them out there for free. I had to put them out there for free because I said Greyhawk, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't include an OGL page. I just said, if it's free, they can't sue me for sharing this stuff out, or they can't shut me down. Probably not necessarily true. I'm not a lawyer. That's not meant to be legal advice, and you guys should definitely not take that as legal advice. But I did it just the same. And I'm glad that people got enjoyment out of it. In retrospect, if I thought I could have gotten paid for it and kept it true to my artistic vision, yes, that matters to me, I would prefer to have gotten paid for it. I don't regret putting the stuff out there. I regret not getting monetized for it, if that makes sense. Because I am a firm believer that the writer should be paid. The creator should always be paid. Guys, if you're going to do something and it's worth your time, make sure you get paid for it. Your time is valuable. You don't get any more. People say, I've got some free time. I've got some spare time. No, you don't. You just have minutes in front of you. Whether it's minutes spent doing the dishes, mowing the lawn, fixing the roof, doing laundry, reading a book, you have a limited amount of them. Regardless of how you spend them, you have a limited amount of them. Free time is a myth. If you're going to do something that other people are going to benefit from and you can get paid for it, get paid for it. All right? Now, people say the quickest way to ruin a hobby is to turn it into a career. I don't know. I've been streaming for 2 years now, which is not as much as other people have. I know there's people that have been on YouTube since its inception. But I don't feel this has ruined my hobby. It's opened up other doors. I mean, part of my business that's not streaming to you guys, I get paid to play First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I get paid to do it. People expect a certain quality out of it, sure. But I get paid to play AD&D. That's pretty friggin' phenomenal, don't you think? So whatever you do, if somebody brings you, somebody on the internet contacts you and says, hey, you got a pretty good hand at mini painting there. Will you do like all these orcs and a handful of adventurers for me? And you say, sure. And they say, great. Thank you. This will get you some good exposure. You know, you conduct business how you want, but make sure that you're also getting exposed to money. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, would you write an adventure for our zine? Say, sure. What does it pay? What do you pay per word? Or do you pay like a single, you know, do I get a percentage? How does it work? Well, you get exposure. Expose me to your bank account. Get paid for what you do and make sure you can keep getting paid for what you do. And make sure you're not sitting at a crooked card table. Somebody's got their hand up here and their other hand dips down here to the side. Ask to see both of them. And I'm going to tell you why, because of this link that I got. Now, I have quoted Harlan Ellison on the whole pay the writer thing. Because that was his bully pulpit too. Pay the writer, get paid. In an unrelated event, Harlan Ellison described Alan Dean Foster as the nicest science fiction writer ever. Like he was just a solid, or is a solid, decent dude. A good guy. And let me tell you what, I read a lot of Alan Dean Foster growing up. A lot of sci-fi novelizations. You want to read a good pulp, but modern sci-fi, it's almost like a proto-cyberpunk sci-fi novel. Read his novelization of Outland, the movie with Sean Connery. good stuff. If you're a Traveler player, Kyle, you will go through and you will like be bookmarking pages and everything. The novelization of Outland is good. The novelization of Aliens, the novelization of Star Wars, the first ever Star Wars expanded universe novel was written by Alan Dean Foster. And this is where we pick up with the ADF. Now I'm going to share this link to this and you guys can read this because I'm probably going to end up skipping around. This is actually by Cory Doctorow, who's a science fiction writer. Move my pins around here. Disney's writer wage theft a year on. In November of 2020, SFWA came forward with a stunning accusation. That's a Science Fiction Writers Association. Disney had told the beloved writer Alan Dean Foster, author of the original best-selling Star Wars novelization, that they would not ever pay him the royalties he was owed. There's a link back to November of 2020. Splinter of the Mind's Eye, that's right. Disney argued that Foster's contract, where he was guaranteed wages for his creative labor on the Star Wars book, which was written before the film was complete and formed the basis for many elements of the final movie, was with Lucasfilm, not Disney. Disney said that when it acquired Lucasfilm, it only acquired its assets, including the rights to continue publishing Foster's book, but not its liabilities, including the obligation to pay royalties to Foster. The contract lawyer's technical term for this is "to stupri cognati mihi," or "are you effing kidding me?" I made that up, but it really should be true. That's Dr. O there. In truth, this "we only acquire assets, not liabilities" argument is grounded in the idea that the workers Disney stole from couldn't afford to fight them. That's where SFWA came in. As an association, it had resources that Foster himself, elderly, sick with cancer, caring for a sick wife, couldn't marshal. Let me repeat that, guys. Elderly, sick with cancer, caring for a sick wife. The org kicked off Disney #Disney Must Pay, a shaming campaign that called on Disney to honor its obligation to the creative workers who made the company its billions. The campaign rapidly picked up many supporters, especially among creative workers who understood that if Disney's theory about acquiring assets and not liabilities was true, then no one was safe. Any royalty-based arrangement with a label, studio, or publisher could be upended by incorporating a numbered LLC in a corporate crime haven like Delaware or Nevada or South Dakota and transferring the assets to it. The liabilities, meanwhile, would be owed by another numbered company that could be discarded. As the campaign picked up steam and more writers came forward, the full scope of Disney's wage theft was revealed. The Alan Dean Foster heist wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a systematic program of theft from a whole cohort of writers stemming from Disney's orgy of acquisitions that it saw merge with Lucas, Fox, Pixar, and other media companies. Disney took the position that all of these corporate mergers only transferred the literary assets, the right to publish, but not the obligation, the requirement to pay its authors. It's been a year since SFWA published its follow-up report revealing the widespread practice of wage theft. On the eve of that anniversary, the group has published a follow-up, and it's writersmustbepaid.org. They note that Disney has the highest paid profile writers. They note that Disney has paid the highest profile writers what it owed them, but that the company has refused to engage in the systematic accounting and negotiations that SFWA demanded, and that many lower profile writers are still waiting for justice. You still refuse to recognize your obligation to lesser-known authors who wrote media tie-in works for Marvel, for Star Wars, for Aliens, for Predator, for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and more, universes that you brought the rights to, along with the obligations to those creators. That's a quote from the SFWA. The SFWA Disney Must Pay Task Force, Neil Gaiman, Tess Garriston, Lee Goldberg, Mary Robinette Kowal, and Chuck Wendig note that Disney continues to reprint and reissue works by these unpaid writers, all under the pretense that they are not owed a penny, nor courtesy of an accounting or even notification that their work is reissued. This is shameful, and it points to the hollowness of Disney's long-running holy war to get us all to respect copyright. Disney respects copyright only to the extent that it serves as a charter for corporate abuse of creators, or a means by which Disney can reach beyond its corporate walls and dictate the conduct of its competitors or other industries. When it comes down to copyright as a tool for securing the rightful wages of the creative workers, Disney exhibits contempt far beyond the taunts of the Pirate Bay or the insouciance of bootleg DVD hawkers in a night market. So let me just stop right there. Let me. If there's anyone who might be operating under the theory that I'm about to start talking about collective bargaining agreements and unions and that sort of thing, you're wrong for many reasons that are beyond the scope of this live stream. I will tell that story another day at another time. But theft is theft, guys. I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. This is theft. This is malfeasance. Disney's corporate power to create worker power has always been oversold, mostly by giant entertainment companies who correctly understood that the more copyright creators got, the more copyright they could expropriate through non-negotiable contracts. Copyright isn't useless to creators, but it is also no substitute for fair contracting laws, labor organizing, and antitrust enforcement. I agree with some of that. And then he kind of goes into books and that sort of thing. You should read the whole article. I'm going to stop right there because I'm getting to quoting it verbatim. We are talking about some very breaded nonsense from Disney, Michael. But we're gonna strip those breadcrumbs off and throw them in the garbage. Here's the facts, guys. Truth Central. Get paid for what you create. Get paid for what you write. Make sure you get paid for what you write. Make sure you keep getting paid for what you write. If someone comes at you, I don't care if it's Uncle Bob's Fun Dungeon Adventure Romp Company, or if it's Wizards of the friggin' Coast themselves. If they hand you a piece of paper to sign that says, oh yeah, and you're never going to get paid for this going forward, we'll republish this, we'll pack it in a best of, an anthology compilation, it's ours now. We'll keep making money forever. You tell them to go to hell and get out of your face. And if you become known as being difficult to work with, publish it yourself. I don't have to belly crawl from Ballantine to Ace to Del Rey to Daw and back again at the end of the day with a little briefcase full of story ideas. Right here. I have more publishing power right here through that little thin wire that runs into the wall out to the street and then down to a server downtown Orlando than 10,000 years of recorded history did. You don't have to kowtow. You don't have to give somebody else the sweat of your brow. You simply have to make sure that you get paid what you're worth. Get paid for what you do. Get money. Now, it can be all well and good to say, look, I just need this. I need an amount of money. Here's a manuscript. All right. You get paid for it. Every sale that's made after you make your bulk money is negative dollars to you. You sell a manuscript for $500. Copies of it are sold for $1 each. At 501 copies of sales, you are now in the hole. You are now losing money, and you will lose it forever. That money will hemorrhage out forever. And if somebody comes along and buys that company and they do something big with it and they put it in a hardback book that goes into Barnes and Noble or goes up on Amazon and becomes a bestseller, guess what? That little paper cut of $1 a shot, suddenly you're bled dry before you know what happened. Get paid for what you do and do what you do for yourself. Be greedy. One of the best stories that Harlan Ellison tells is about the Babylon 5 DVD set. It was like the first, it was like All Caesar, something like this. This is a big box set. And he talks about, he gets this call. He's living in California, Bay Area, and he gets this call from somebody at Paramount, wherever, and they're like, "Oh, could you come down and record some extras for the Babylon 5 DVD set?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, absolutely. What are you going to pay me?" And the woman on the other end of the phone said, "Pay you? Pay you? Well, Richard and John and Mary and all these other people that worked on this, they're just coming to do it. They're coming to do it for free. Aren't you?" And Harlan Ellison, as he describes it in this video and explains this scenario, this situation, he said, "My dear, with all due respect, you're an idiot, and so are they. My time is worth money." Get paid for what you do. Get paid for what you do. Don't wake up one day with pride in one hand and nothing in the other, and somebody's driving down the street with your creative labor. Get paid for what you do. Vincent, you're absolutely right. It's easier to self-publish now more than ever. And I mean it, guys. You can get a computer for practically free. A word processing program for exactly free, if you don't have to have Microsoft or Microsoft Office, rather. and it will cost you $0 to put stuff out on a website like DriveThru. Actually, that's not true. You have to have an internet connection, and they'll take some money. So that's my bully pulpit, guys. Get paid for what you do. I talk about that as much as I talk about keep gaming. You know, I still haven't forgotten that. Don't stop gaming just because you might be in a place that could still be on lockdown. Or maybe you're worried. You know what? I'm not going to spit in the face of anyone who still has concerns about things the way things are right now. Maybe you're worried, and maybe getting together for face-to-face gaming is a little troubling to you. Maybe you're immunocompromised. Don't stop gaming and get paid for writing. Those are my 2 watchwords. But that's a hell of a good read, and you should definitely go check it out. Look, I think the best collective bargaining you can have is to do it yourself. Don't get locked into dealing with, you know, a union or a guild or something like that. Don't ever tie yourself, be it a publisher or so-called advocates, to a group that could step in front of you and censor what you've said or done. Stand up for yourself. Stand on your own 2 feet. It's not the 1990s anymore. It's not, you know, the only way I can get this out there is putting it on FTP sites and bulletin boards. And then if somebody wants a copy of it, they're only going to get it in 24-pin dot matrix printout. And it certainly isn't the 80s or the 70s when it's like, well, I can photocopy or mimeograph hand typewritten pages and hand this out and maybe buy a tiny ad in Dragon magazine. I'm not saying you're going to be successful, and I'm not saying that what you write necessarily merits the adulation and outpourings of love and emptying of wallets by the public at large. Don't ever come back to me and say, Bill, I did the self-publishing thing. Nobody buys what I write. Well, maybe what you write sucks. Not everything I write is great. I mean, I think I'm a damn good writer, but other people don't agree with that. I'm not rich, and I never have gotten rich writing. I've gotten paid a fairly good chunk of change. Amortized over time, it probably isn't a lot. But when you see those paychecks start to roll in, feels good, man. So don't ever doubt that you hold the institutional power here and now. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that, golly gee, I guess what I created really isn't good enough. Don't do that to yourself, man. What you write, what you put your labor into, if you think it's good enough to publish, then publish it. Sorry, I'm gonna clatter there. My apologies to headphone wearers. I just find the idea of Disney essentially robbing people to be just utterly repugnant. Anybody robbing anybody is utterly repugnant. And one of the worst things I ever read, and this got memed to hell and gone, some guy he did a little web comic, and he talked about coming out and finding his bike stolen, and initially he was upset, but then he thought later, well, somebody else might have needed that bike, so I was okay with it. I wish I knew where that guy lived, because I'm sure that I need the MacBook he owns more than he does. And he's absolutely okay with people just taking his shit and walking off with it. It's as wrong to lie down and accept being robbed as it is to be robbed. You should never accept that. Again, you don't necessarily deserve to be paid. You deserve the chance to be paid. I mean, there's a lot of guys who have a big output of tabletop role-playing game stuff now that's awful. They're do-it-yourself authors. They've done exactly what I said, and I would not touch their work with a 10-meter cattle prod. That's 33 feet in freedom units, by the way. But they're doing it themselves. You know, they're not going through a publisher or anything like that. They're doing it themselves. And that I can appreciate, even if I don't appreciate the work. Which creates an interesting dichotomy, because I appreciate that there's people out there doing their stuff, and when I talk about them, when I mention them by name, which I'm not going to do now, primarily because this is my show and I don't promote things that I don't necessarily like. But if I'm having a conversation, I'm like, John Smith, who, creates Mice Murderers of Mars. You gotta appreciate the hustle. And people are like, you like that guy? You like what that guy does? You like the fact that people pay for that guy's stuff? Like, whoa, calm down. Back off. In all cases, I appreciate that there are people out there doing the right thing, which is the DIY thing. I mean, I keep coming back to this, but Vincent, you're absolutely right. It's easier to self-publish now more than ever. And if you'll buy my book where I talk about... No, I'm just kidding. There's no reason to put yourself on the bottom of somebody's shoe and say, please don't step down too hard. You know, try to come down kind of easy when you step. Can we work together? Can I sign it? Will you sign a piece of paper that says you won't crush too hard when you step? No? Okay. All right. Well, maybe later you will. Oh, and then you're squished. Just don't give in to the people who don't do anything other than say garbage like, oh, I can get you exposure, man. Yeah, lying on top of my house in the middle of a winter storm will give me exposure. That doesn't mean I want it. So that's kind of tonight's sermonette, is to get paid for what you're doing. I mean, now that I'm getting paid for stuff on YouTube, you damn well better believe I'll keep grabbing for it. And if I see something that is copyright dinged or flagged or whatever, and I literally did nothing wrong during it, you better believe I'll go to YouTube and I'll say, hey, what is the meaning of this? What are you doing? You better believe I will. You're darn right, Michael Connor. Grifter. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know why I like Michael Connor commenting on all this stuff? I do. Because I know like some of the references he's making. Like, it makes me feel kind of special. The Ricada-esque level of engagement there. Hey, Dungeon Minister. Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid, Dungeon Minister? Are you working that grift? I hope you are. And speaking of grifting, I don't think any show, of course, would be complete if I did not take a moment to thank those who have dropped a few coins in the hat. More than a few coins. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. So let me take a moment to thank Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damian X247, James F. Keck, William Smith, the Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore, Farmer, Rob Can't Say That Gillis, Jeremy Rule, Boganora, Mikey Mank, and Sky Hernstrom. Thank you all. I absolutely appreciate that. Reaching for those dollars. Am I going to do D&D lore videos? That seems to be what the big D&D channels do. I don't know. I don't know. So let me tell you this. I've thanked those that that absolutely deserve the thanking, and I do have a few minutes. So this is something I encountered, and this is proof positive that for all of my Tony Robbins-esque, you should get paid kind of, approach there. Hey, come on, we're going to walk across hot coals or what have you, whatever. I apparently don't know like how the levers and buttons and all on YouTube to work right. Because let me tell you, if you watch listicle videos, you get recommended more listicle videos, right? More factoid videos. 10 shocking facts about the sinking of the Titanic. Number 10, most people in the lower class shipping sections didn't even have access to a lifeboat. Number 9, many people froze to death in the water before they had a chance to drown. Number 8, I'm making one right now. Hey, maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll work on the maybe that'll work on the algorithm. But anyway, so you watch listicle videos, you get recommended listicle videos. So I watched a few, and I got recommended a channel. And the guy, hey, thank you, Robert Phillips. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, brother. It's currently 75 years after death of author. Listicle videos, right? Listicle videos. And I watched this guy's video, and it was like, why? No, the Yellowstone caldera is not about to explode and kill us all. Anybody that thinks that the Yellowstone caldera is about to erupt because it's overdue, yeah, it's not, guys. I'm not even a geologist, and I know just based on some simple math that all that's a bunch of crap. Not that if it blew up, it wouldn't be bad. It would be bad, but anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. This guy has 6 videos on his channel that go back to a year ago. He has 6 videos on his channel. He has 702,000 subs. And his least watched video has many hundreds of thousands of views. I am clearly doing YouTube completely wrong. I am very clearly doing YouTube completely wrong. So yeah, I don't know what I don't know. Maybe I'll try, like, I'll create a listicle. I'll do a listicle, like 10 facts about original D&D. Like an 8-minute video, 10 facts about that you didn't know about original Dungeons and Dragons, with a cutesy little cartoony thumbnail. I'm not kidding. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to see how it does. Pre-recorded, some iShutter or photo stock images. Get my best announcer voice going on. You kind of get that glazing effect on my voice. Number 10. Gary Gygax created the name Dungeons and Dragons after an evening of brainstorming with his young daughter, Heidi. He asked her to pick from a list of names that she thought fit the game the best. Other alternative titles included Men in Magic and the Underworld and Wilderness Adventure, which went on to become the names of other volumes in the first Dungeons and Dragons set. Number 9. Maybe something like that. Yeah, Dungeon Minister. 3 simple methods that can save your life in a dungeon. Clerics hate number 2. I've just been talking about the importance of getting paid, Tonka Todd, and then Robert Phillips super chatted, and then I started talking about doing a listicle video just to see if it'll work. Yellow mold in my dungeon? It may be more obvious than you think. Click here for a free test. You won't suggest Forgotten Realms, or you might get banned. Well, I like to think that I've really, like, in talking about Greyhawk deities and such like that, that I really haven't I been doing deep lore videos on D&D, on Greyhawk, though? Isn't that what my whole wide collection of videos? Look at that. I am greater than 16 by 9. Isn't that my whole wide range of videos? Aren't they really Greyhawk lore? Yeah. Number 2, don't go in. Top 10 reasons is Tralis and cow. Number 10, you're wrong if you say it Dro. Number 9, no, really, you're wrong if you say it's Dro. Number 8, if you say it's Dro, you're wrong. Number 7, Gary Gygax once said Dro, but then he corrected himself and started saying it the proper way. "101 things to do with a wet towel." No idea about that one. So we're going to get going with AD&D in a few minutes, just waiting for folks to clock in here. My only problem with Mystara as a setting, my only problem with Mystara as a setting is, I don't know. I don't dislike this. It's weird. I don't dislike the setting, but as much as I feel like B2 is an AD&D compatible thing, and even B1 is an AD&D compatible thing, Mystara doesn't feel like a good fit for AD&D, and I really prefer AD&D over any other Dungeons and Dragons. And I would want to run a campaign with the AD&D rules, unless there were some super compelling reason for me to not. And so that kind of puts it aside, you know. I mean, there's certainly elements from Mystara that I would pick up, B1 and B2. I talked about last night, you know, Isle of Dread has dwellers in the Forbidden City, which has the Hidden Shrine of Tamokon in it. So you can literally make it like a triple layer cake of an basic expert module with a couple of AD&D modules stacked on top. Well, hello there, Beth Banks. How are you? Thank you very much. Mr. sounds like a local affiliate late night horror movie host. Or what? Oh, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like, who here, hands up, who here remembers Marvel's New Universe back in, what was it, 87? Had like the power pack and some other, did like sank without a trace. Mystara sounds like a hero from that, or from a Pacific Comics from the early 80s. You know, like they got some mid-tier Marvel artists that Marvel had like burned bridges on. Mystara, your guide in the world of horror. DP7, Michael Connor knows what I'm talking about. The creature from the not quite Black Lagoon. Might want to fix your typo there. But yeah, Mystara. She's a teenage girl trying to find her way in a world of mysticism and magic. Mystara and the powers of the universe. The best thing about Mystara is its hero quest, but in Mystara. Yeah, there's a Mystra in Forgotten Realms, isn't there? She sang the 80s pop hit Broken Wings. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was Mystra. Did you get it? We'll start the D&D game here in just a few minutes. I just want to hear the lamentations of everyone for that terrible joke. They destroyed Pittsburgh after Shooter was canned out of spite. Oh, wow. Yeah, Jim Shooter was a force, man. Well, AWIG booed it, so I will take. I'll take my W. I'll take my W there. So we're fixing to get started playing some AD&D, guys. I'm going to put the camera. No, I still don't have a tabletop tripod. That's coming. The best of Bill. This is the best of Bill. You did, A-Wig. You did. Thank you. It's you and me, right, buddy? Doom, doom, da doom. Doom, doom, da doom, doom. All right, let me see here. All right. Hang on. My tripod is trying to take a header off of the table. That wire will never do. Bear with me in a minute, guys. Vinyl relic. Oh, hold on. All right, let's see. Just need a minute here, guys. I got to get the camera working. 1 and 2. All right, shrink that down. Nope, it's still not showing up. Hang on just a second, guys. Sorry, the ye old webcam doesn't appear to be behaving right now. We may have to go totally theater of the mind tonight, guys. Give me just another minute or two. I will try. Well, we're just about to start. The D&D live stream. Let's see. You say you're working, but are you really? Okay, it's working there. It was working in Discord. Is it working now? Nope. I swear to gosh, it was working last time, guys, and I didn't do anything to it. This is the joy of technology. I think I got it. Hey, I got it. Okay, all right. Let's go over to tabletop. Yeah, all right. Woo! And I'll get some light on that situation for you guys too. Hang on a moment. And I thank everyone for their patience, everyone who's been waiting for the AD&D live stream to start. Get my headset on. And welcome in our group. Mark, Mr. Kyle, Lynx the Fighter. Hello, hello. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing good tonight. How you doing?
Good. I can't complain. Well, I can. That's what I was doing pretty much for the entire first half of the show. But it was about a good cause. At least I think it was anyway.
And people
So anywho, for those who were not here last, let's see. Can we zoom in a little bit on that? I think we can.
We tried to kill a hill giant, and I had a javelin chucked through the back of my head.
That is correct.
That hill giant.
Whoopsie.
You did. So we have a player who will be joining us later. Now, I don't know if co-host Kyle will be here. That his sir remains to be seen. So we'll just kind of have to hope for the best. Adventurers, what is it? What are your intentions, party?
I think we were taking Sir Average's body out of this dungeon and figuring out what to do next. Are we there?
Yeah, or we had just done that, and
Yeah.
we're up above trying to figure out, I think. I was okay with going back down and trying to avenge somebody, but I'm not sure if we have the manpower right now.
No, I don't think we do. Jean is pretty hurt, too. We need to get healing spells.
Okay, well, your party cleric, who, other than this statement, is strangely silent, says, well, I can do so, but we must rest for at least a day while I pray and recover my spiritual energies.
Then let's take our fallen, give them a good burial while you rest.
So I have another proposal.
Very well, brothers.
What's your other proposal, Lynx?
Is it possible that we need to go back to the city at this point to try and recruit more? Like, I'm not sure where everybody's resources are at.
Well, we have... well, that's a good question. I turned to Leo and Nerm, who had been Sir Average's henchmen. I believe they're still alive. Kyle, can you back me up on that? Leo and Nerm, your master, your boss is dead. I offer you employ with me. You've talked to my people. You know I pay well. If you're willing, you're welcome.
They're both kind of ambivalent on it, but well, better him than us, and if you pay, then we'll absolutely accompany you.
We pay. I pay. Good.
But ironically, they survive the best.
I know. Yeah, they've been with the group since I think literally the beginning. Then
They're deep cover agents.
They're the true heroes here.
yeah,
The Rosencrantz and
we're all
Guildenstern.
secondary characters. They're the main characters.
Yeah,
There's
there's a fantasy novel being written in another universe, and you guys are the bunch that keep dying, and this is the Frodo and Sam of that novel.
They really should hit first level, damn it.
But Lynx, I'm not sure if we going back to the city. We can. It's going to take like a week or so to get there and back, plus time to hire more people. And as we found out just today, when replacement showed up, I don't know what he went to, but when he showed up, maybe other adventurers will join us here. Hint, hint, Kyle, hint, hint.
No, I know. I'm waiting for you to get out of the dungeon.
Oh, okay. We're out of the dungeon. We're in the
Okay.
We're above the cistern.
we're in the courtyard.
No. That's all else. I was waiting for the DM's okay for random encounters, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. You have walked far to explore this great and mighty edifice that is Castle Greyhawk, and now you found, of all unlikely things, a very rude inn and stable where the castle should be by your best estimations. A little bit of wood smoke going up the chimney, so the place is obviously occupied. You hear the whicker of horses.
So the longhouse looks like a inn at this point.
Well, I mean, it's there's a common yard around the place. It's been beaten down by footfalls and hooves and whatnot, and 3 or 4 suspicious-looking mounds of dirt some distance away with stones at their head. So, yeah, I mean, it is kind of looking like some kind of steading, some kind of homestead.
Absolutely.
There's at least 5 graves, I think.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's animals, and we at least left one person to tend.
Yeah.
So.
There's an active trash pit somewhere, I'm sure, as well. But okay, yeah. Now so now that that's all clear, yeah, I'll make my way. Actually, I'll wait for them to show up, because there's only one way in and one way out of the keep that I know of, and that's the front door. So I'll wait and watch by the front door.
So
okay,
we'll set up some way later of taking the 2 hirelings that were dead previously and Sir Average, and let's give them a burial, and then thus we come out of the castle.
Okay. At that point, I guess I'll just take one of the bodies off your hands and just kind of give you a hand.
He's stealing the body. Grab the dwarf.
Oh, God.
He's a necromancer. Get him.
Yeah, good way to do your first encounter check. Here, let me take that body. Grab.
Yep. Here, let me. But no.
Hail, dwarf.
Yeah, that's all. That's without saying too much. I think that's the first thing he would do. Would be like, he'd find the guy that's tired and just be like, "Here, get out of the way," and go.
Pardon me for being suspicious, but I'm Genin. You are.
I'm Lynx.
Yeah.
I guess the rest of our party say their names, even though.
Have you seen Sir Average?
Yes.
Is he?
I'm sorry. Are you?
I'm just going to slowly look down at one of the bundles.
Are you a relative?
Have I seen his body at this point?
There are. Well, no, you guys only had 1 KIA last, so there's just 1 body bag. So
we had 3 actually. From the previous time.
The 2 followers.
Okay, all right.
The 2 hirelings. We bring them up.
Yeah.
They're a bit messy.
Two are
They're sort of-
crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I see the body then?
I don't know if we would
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to wrap up when that javelin's sticking out, you know? Sorry, the javelin's sticking out of the back. Yeah.
They hadn't removed it yet.
It's a carrying handle.
Yeah, we're actually just carrying him by it.
He's a puppet. Oh god.
We're not hiding the body. It's right there.
Okay. Yeah. No, I will break down crying over his corpse then.
Okay. Gene doesn't know how to handle this.
Dwarven tears are 60 proof, by the way.
Yep.
Then we'll collect them.
Bottle them.
After that, I'll help you carry him off.
Yeah. But your name is?
Eventually, it would be Sir Outlier.
Of course.
Yep.
Sir Outlier.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You seem to have known Sir Average. We fought well with him. We hope to avenge him when we heal up. Help us bring him back. We're going to bury him in the graveyard.
Which one of you is still hurt, by the way?
Me.
Okay. Cure wounds is what, a D8 plus 1, DM?
Yes, Cure Light Wound. No, Cure Light Wounds is 1d8.
D8.
It's just 1d8.
Jeanin gets 7 back.
I
I will cast Cure Light Wounds.
didn't know dwarves could be clerics. He literally says that like.
Hence why the name is Sir Outlier.
Viewers, that is something that's a little house rule on my part. I allow Dwarven Fighter Clerics as a combo. It just seems to make sense. If you look in the player's handbook, if you're following along at home, and you look in the player's handbook, you'll note that dwarves under cleric is bracketed, which indicates NPC only. But again, that's just a my campaign. If you're not comfortable with it and you'd want to play a more by the book AD&D game, don't allow.
I don't know. I don't think it breaks anything. So yeah, no. He is versed in the ways of a cleric.
Thank you. You have my. Thank you very much.
You have our gratitude, friend dwarf.
Yeah. Keep the living, mind the dead.
Come with us.
Yeah.
And
We seek vengeance on the giant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll carry his body back.
And while we're carrying bodies back, we might as well start, I guess, divvying his loot, going through his pockets for loose change and divvying his loot.
Yeah. That reminds me.
I will. I don't know.
There is the gloves.
Dwarven law is, but doesn't it go to next to kin? I mean,
Well, yeah. However, I believe my words last time, I should say, were gloves go to Jeanin.
I thought it was no one take my gloves, but
Well,
I think I thought it was specifically replacement. Don't take my gloves.
I thought his last words were or Link, stop throwing javelins.
oh god, no. No, but no, go ahead, have Jeanin take the gloves, and then what I propose is then we just go around the table with the gloves based on seniority. So the next it'll be you and the thief to argue over them when the next person dies, and we'll just round robin it. How's that sound?
Sure.
So you now have a strength of 18 over 100.
I'm low on arrows. I really just need some of your arrows. Or
Yep, there you
his
go.
arrows, so.
Jeanan's been sitting back here because me forgetting. He's been sitting back here going, these guys keep running out of arrows. Huh. As he starts loading his quiver from the bucket of arrows he's got on the cart. Just go to the cart. There's tons and tons of arrows in the cart.
Oh. Well, then, yeah. I will just refill from arrows there.
It's the only reason, like, Sir Average ever carried around arrows was to have them as a refill for people. He had a bow and a pinch, but, you know. I think that's the same reason my current dwarf actually now has. Sir Outlier has a bow. Oh, God. Okay, so what first then, gents?
I think you've just healed us.
I can heal one of you, and I can heal one. I just healed one of you, and I can heal one more.
I think
Actually,
for
DM.
us to wait till tomorrow.
Yes.
When our our priest,
Mhm.
Valoric here, could also be ready to heal us more. We found it very useful down there that once we're hurt, we get healed back up and keep in the fight. So I'd rather us go in with a full set of
Mhm.
prayers.
Agreed.
So let's go back. Let's dig the graves, honor the dead, have some whiskey together because I believe he left a bottle of whiskey in there.
Mhm.
And in the morning we go back and fight the soul giant.
Mhm.
Sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good. DM.
Yes, sir.
Does a high wisdom grant bonus spells the same way for clerics?
Yes.
Okay, so then I get 3. Then I can actually cure you an additional more time. So I have 2 left if anybody wants them.
I'm missing 3. I don't know what the other characters are missing.
I mean, there's 5.
Awesome.
so-
Thanks.
I can do that for one other person if they need it. So. All right.
Then let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll burn the bodies.
We bury them. But Sir Average, burn.
I'll burn the dwarf.
If that is what you do.
I'll burn the dwarf.
What is traditional?
Technically encasing him in 30 feet of stone, but he kind of just gestures at the forest and the lack of masonry.
We wrap him up and we take him down to the lowest level of Castle Greyhawk. Becomes
The lowest
part of
level of Castle Greyhawk, you say? Let me get my notes.
Find a crag somewhere about halfway down and just
Mind players. It's just mind players.
Mind players the whole way down.
Yep.
literally the Indiana Jones snake pit, but mind flayers.
Yeah. And remember, kids, when using mind flayers, it's not so much that you run them accurately, it's the thought that counts.
To be morbid and good D&D players, who's taken his loot? I wrote down his torches and his iron rations because our cart needs to be replenished.
if you want the plate, take the plate. Same with the sword.
Plate's not good for me. Sword, however, I'll put it aside. I might learn how to use that thing. He used it well.
I think since we're here, we just take something if we need it, and then divide it up next session when everybody's here.
Give the plate mail to a follower.
Ooh, no, do that.
What about you, Lynx? Do you need plate now?
I already have plate.
Oh, so maybe okay. So we'll set all that stuff aside.
Yeah.
and deal with that later.
Hey, a follower with an armor class of 2?
Hey.
Why not?
Yeah. Alice, my follower Alice has done good service. She needs to be upgraded.
Yeah.
Alice the armored Alice. There she goes.
So wait, you're giving Alice the dwarves plate mail?
No, well, no, I know. It probably wouldn't fit though, would it?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
Very well, no.
So it's dwarf plate mail, so that's not going to work.
You ever see people ironically wearing those kids' Halloween costumes from the 70s, but they're old people like me? Yeah, that's what that would look like. Alice trying to wear dwarven plate.
It'd be too short. It'd be like high water pants and too short. Yeah.
Yep.
Binding, I think, is what we're thinking of. Very binding.
Well, I'll leave it on the cart. Maybe we'll do something with it later. Maybe we'll find more dwarves. Do you need it? Actually, do you need it?
There's a spare great helm.
Do you need it?
Oh no, I don't need it at all.
Okay.
I'm good. He is in plate, and here's where he just gets to explain that I'm like he points over and he explains it's like I'm his husband. Like we go together.
Pleasure to meet you.
So that's where he comes in. Hence, like matching great swords, like matching armor.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's going to get really weird when I hit you with another javelin.
Hey, they match. Said so themselves.
Oh God, that'd be horrible. God,
Archaeologists in a couple of 100 years will find like both graves next to each other, whole, like a 50-cent piece hole in the back of the skull. Clearly, these dwarves were tree panning. I believe that's what happened here.
I had character art for Sir Average commissioned, and I specifically requested that a javelin be in the back of his head.
Oh, I was about to say you jinxed him when you had
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what did it.
You get the nice miniature painted, you get the character portrait done, you get the framed character sheet when you retire those characters.
Oh yeah.
I'm this army man with an arm bit off. That character will live for like 30 campaigns. All right, so who's on watch the next morning? Who's up first for brekkies?
Those goes.
Gina
That's
does.
Turgo. He's not here.
Ooh. Put Valoric and Bejeebus on it.
Yeah, Valoric, Bejeebus, and Turgo are on watch that morning, leaving the rest of you to sleep in.
Also, Genan's on watch if you need an actual.
Okay.
Otherwise, I guess.
So when you guys wake up, Valoric and Bejeebus and Turgo are moving about like they're like kind of in a daze, but a pleasant one. And they're sort of talking amongst themselves. Like, I didn't know such a thing could exist. Did you? That was amazing. I don't. Do you think it meant we were actually blessed, or? And they notice you're awake. Valoric says, "Waken, my friends, waken! We have much to tell you of the early morning watch."
What say you?
Well, as you slept, we three kept our watch, and we noticed that the dawn was coming. So to brace ourselves in the cold morning air, we ambled out towards the stables, and standing there, as though they were conversing with our horses, were two mighty Shadoo. They were kindly, and we spoke with them at length about our deeds and our adventures in Castle Greyhawk, and they bade us good fortune. Truly magnificent and fantastic creatures, and they all seem a little kind of awestruck by this. No, Vince, they did not kill the giant. I'm not going to give them that. So yes, there was a random encounter, and it was with a Shadoo while you guys were sleeping.
What does a Shadoo?
A Shadoo is a lion, horse, man, Pegasi hybrid.
I think they look like some of those big carvings in Babylonian Assyria.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like a horse with a human above with big wings.
Yep.
Giant bull with a bearded guy.
Mm-hmm.
Their aims are often mysterious, but they are always bent towards the furthering of law and good. That is what legends tell about them. And what errand they were on when they stopped to speak with Bejeebus and Valoric and Turgo, you don't know. But clearly they're none the worse for having encountered the creatures.
I wish I was able to have seen them.
We're here to say a dwarf prophesies to bring great evil.
Oh God.
It might be a good omen for us.
No, it is a good omen. A good omen, Valor. Or Bejeebus, whoever told me.
Yes. Well, as I said, they're all just in again.
Floored.
Yeah. And coincidentally enough, Shadoo are psionic, and we were just talking about mind flayers a minute ago. But fortunately, Shadoo are not of the eat your brain variety of psionic creatures. So, that fantastical encounter aside, anyone who needed to rest up and get spells back will have done so.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything else you guys wish to do now?
Head on out.
Yep, I think we need to go down to that dungeon and
Time for another expedition.
see someone about a hill giant. As a meta comment, what are we going to do with Turgo since his player is not going to be here? Turgo stay home and keep watch at the Longhouse.
That's not a bad idea.
Seems a reasonable thing to do.
I'll leave it up to you players if you wish to not have Doomsword's character accompany you into the dungeon. Then, if he's able to hop on this evening, he can jump in. But otherwise, I will leave it to your judgment.
Does anyone have a sheet?
I don't have a sheet or anything, so I think it's best if maybe he stays behind.
Yeah.
What
I think
about
that's
Gina? What about Valoric and Bejeebus? Did James say who's going to be able to make it?
I think he said it's just late or something.
Yeah, he'll be here later. So they'll, as a dungeon master, I'll make the call that Valoric and Bejeebus will, be employing missile fire as necessary, and Valoric will be healing or casting other spells. He has memorized Bless, couple of Cure Light wounds, and can act accordingly.
That sounds like a great plan.
I have create water and a couple of cure light wounds as well. So.
Okay.
All right.
Then let's go.
Yep.
Let's head out.
Yep. We'll leave Turgo behind to watch the Longhouse.
So
Yes. So leaving the thief with all of your belongings, you adventure to Castle Greyhawk.
We left him with too much to steal, so he'll have to stay.
Yeah. He won't know what to choose, and we'll find him still confused when we get back.
I try not to use the phrase grossly underestimate that often, and yet
do you two want to be in front, or do you want to put me up front with you?
I don't know. Are you level 1 or?
I'm technically level 2.
Okay.
Technically,
I have enough to where I'm like a little. I had just enough XP to level up both twice, so that's why I have a little bit extra for fighter, but that's about it.
Gotcha. I think you should be near up front. Yeah, we could always use an extra sword.
Yeah.
But in a way, I want to make sure you're not directly up front because you have the spells. You can help heal us.
Yep.
But yeah, let's go in. I think what worked last time for that hill giant is to stay out of his reach as much as we can. And do we have oil? I don't have any.
I have a few
Laura
spare.
would have oil.
I have 6.
Okay, good. Because he seemed to not like when we started throwing oil at him. I'm not sure if that caused his retreat or it's just coincidence, but let's use that to our advantage.
Union
Fire
rules.
brand.
He has to go get the fire giants.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's like our contract doesn't cover fire. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm a hill giant, not a fire giant. So we attack him with hills, I guess.
Collapse a hill on him. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so I think our plan is get him. Great plan. With some parenthetical notes about Genin and Lynx basically up front with the hirelings surrounding us as well. Sir Outlier sort of right near the front, maybe a little bit behind, just second row maybe.
I can swap out.
Second rank
Yeah, to give some
with
support.
everybody else.
Actually, yeah, let's give this a try. Let's see how it works.
Yep.
Let's go down the cistern.
Yep. I'll go first.
Yep, and I'll follow next.
Yep, next.
Okay, so you take your own sweet time climbing down into the cistern, and it is much as you had left it before, those of you who've been here before. It is deadly quiet. Only the faint dripping sounds, perhaps coming from the cavernous area. You hear faint tittering noises, but other than that, nothing.
Is the orc door open, closed? Does it still even exist? I can't remember if we tore it down.
It is still open.
Okay.
You guys forced it open, and it has not been shut.
Then let's advance. Careful, they do use a lot of traps.
Yep.
Okay. Do I notice any new construction or new masonry?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Then let's
I suppose-
advance. I believe we hopefully still have the gangplank across the pit.
It should still be there.
Well, unless somebody cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
If the orcs had been back here, they didn't tamper with the gangplank.
It's a good sign.
So I think we should carefully. I think our first goal is to carefully advance to that room that we fought the hill giant in, which is just past those. You go north through a door. There's a door on a small cubby hole area on the other side. When we open up that door, I think it's just on the edge of his. Yeah, he's just bringing it to view now. That room.
Yep.
That room at the top. We should get up to it and listen at the door, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we encounter anything along that way, Bill?
Well, I will let you know as you move along. You get to about the halfway point, and my laser pointer has gone missing. No, there it is.
Just before the turn, I guess.
You get to right about here,
Yep.
if you guys
Okay.
can see the laser spot.
Yep.
And snuffling around in the trash and refuse around you in this area, you can hear squeaking and scratching and all kinds of sounds. Actually, you can hear that some distance before you get there as you're moving on down the hall. Poking their disgusting little faces out of the refuse, you see many, many rats of the giant type.
But they're
What do you
cute.
guys wish to do?
Somebody with fire, burn them.
Yeah, can we take a torch and threaten them, try to get them to flee?
From this distance, from when you heard them knocking over pots and small boxes and that sort of thing, they don't. But if you get closer, what you know about giant rats is they will probably flee.
Gene will take a torch from one of his hirelings and advance forward carefully. Torch in one hand, sword in the other. And then try to shoo them away, but we can hit them with the sword if we do.
Yeah, they're not having that. They see that torch come out and you approaching, and they back in holes and crevices and cracks with their oily, horrible little ratty bodies scurrying into holes and that sort of thing. So
Okay.
they flee before you.
Yay.
Excellent.
Speaking of fleas, I need to make a check for bubonic plague for all of you. Just getting.
Okay, so let's. Is that door there open still?
Yes, that door is still open.
And the next door, is it still open?
That door is still open.
Gina remembers to look up. We keep getting hit by piercers here.
Hmm.
You rolled a piercer check.
As you are rounding the corner there, approaching from the other direction, you hear many footfalls.
Okay.
It is probably as deep in the room as you've been, and orky voices. They are not trying to disguise themselves or set up some kind of ambush. And so, what do you do? You've got perhaps a round before they are upon you as they draw closer.
Shall we set ourselves up in that room?
It's the only one thing to do. Form up and get
Okay.
ready to slay some orcs.
Yeah, there's a little alcove in that room too. We can collect ourselves to make a larger line.
Yep.
You talking about over here?
No, I'm sorry. I thought we were further in, like further
Over
away.
here.
Yeah, there seems to be an alcove there in the north, and
Okay.
right by the doorway is also a small area. We can get our people
Okay.
into those two areas.
You guys were more about here when you heard the orc voices,
Okay.
so
I actually, in that case, let's back up and have them come to us.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's form a line like in that room.
Yep.
all right. I will move miniatures there. And again, I apologize for the lack of Zoom. Let me attempt. See if I can do that without shutting something off.
If I can get in there, I have a great sword. So
Okay, then you
Not
step
until you're
forward.
out of healing spells.
that works.
That's
Well,
how
no,
he
I'm
gives his
saying,
healing
like,
spells. He's like, be healed, slam.
Right. If three of us can line up, right, because we're in a bigger opening.
I think three of us can line up.
Yeah. You know.
And then have hirelings behind with spears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have a pole arm almost. So you
Should.
can be the second line.
Good.
And that's about as zoomed as I can get right now, guys. Apologies to you in the audience. Let me step over there.
If I do use a shield and a pole arm, my armor class would be -1.
Disgusting.
That's awesome. I was just like, yeah, why not? Give the cleric a greatsword. That never gets to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Give her some orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Go find this hell giant.
Do you have a name for the hill giant?
Bob.
That's
I'd call him Lou Bash, but I think that's a different one.
I think Lubash, wasn't he
He's an ogre. Yeah, he's an ogre in the Caves of Chaos.
There's a hill giant in Temple of Elemental Evil.
Oh, is that it?
Scrap or something? Like he's got some hair.
Oh, yeah. Scorp,
Scorp.
Group,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I just read his entry last week.
so our quest is to slay Scorp the hill giant.
Oh God.
Oh, I have to remember the when we were fighting the orcs and the ogres last time, they gave us a good compliment. They complained that we were too pokey. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that's now our Adventuring Company motto.
Too pokey. I thought it was start, fight, end fight.
That'll do it.
Gene just loves his orc motivational posters he picked up from here.
I could see
That was-
Geenan like ending his career covered in tattoos of motivational posters in like all the languages he's learned.
So, who's going to pay for the hireling with the banner that says "Start Fight End Fight"?
Yeah, it's a specialized, like it's torchbearer, but it's a banner bearer. Like
Oh, 100%.
Just like a squire out there.
We're gonna get a minstrel too.
Yeah.
He can stand outside the dungeon, draw all the aggro.
Congrats, Timmy the Orphan. Here's a torch and here's a banner. Stand near us. And you got a shiny piece of copper every day.
Here's a hurdy-gurdy, kid. Have fun.
Well, at
That's
that
why
point,
we're
we should
homeless.
just get a like a full Warhammer command line.
Yeah, right.
Just hire
Yeah.
3 people. You're the drummer. You're the standard bearer. I guess you get a plumed helmet and yell at us.
That's why we almost always go with just one miniature and one miniature for the side, and then one for the enemies as a guide-ons for each side. But I just kind of wanted to give something decent-ish looking there for the audience. All right,
Nice.
so the orcs come marching around the corner. They are not surprised by you. You guys were not hiding any light sources and attempting to move silently. The orcs see you, bellow a challenge, demand to know who you are and what do you want here. And they look very hostile. Doesn't look like they're going to take much in the way of fuller brush salesman jokes.
My name is Lynx. I'm here to start fight in fight.
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I think Gene will yell out a challenge. He wants to get that hill giant, your boss, he calls him.
I'm here to drink healing potions and kick ass. And I assure you, I am not out of healing potions.
So is it initiative, and maybe we can get a missile off?
Yeah, the orcs are definitely hostile. They are clashing their scimitars and spears on their shields and hooting and orcish at you that they will defecate on your corpses, take your money, and feed you all to rot grubs. Let's go ahead and roll initiative because I know what the orcs are probably going to get up to. Mark.
6.
Nice.
A very good way to start off. You have 1 initiative handily.
What's our distance?
I
Because
set your
we
encounter
were
distance.
hoping to keep a line, like the 3 of us abreast, and
Mhm.
hirelings behind with spears. So if I can get off a bow shot or something before they get to us, that'd be great.
There's enough distance between the parties when you come around the corner that they will basically be spinning this round, closing in. You hear Valoric begins a spell, probably a bless.
Okay.
You would estimate.
Can I chuck some oil?
You can missile fire in this round. Probably should have gotten intentions beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
So missile fire. Anybody moving up to melee?
No, not me.
Nope. Missile
Nope.
fire.
Okay. Missile fire goes first. Go ahead and roll.
18 probably hits.
That will hit, yes.
Oh, but only 1 point of damage.
Okay. I'm not used to his dex. I got
Oh,
18
that-
total.
That will hit. That is 2d6 damage.
I hit with a javelin for 5.
Okay.
Javelins again?
Yeah, really.
It's going in the right people this time.
4 damage.
Okay. almost immediately, an orc behind him is hitting him with what you presume is a damp piece of cloth. Imagine it like a cloak that's been soaked in water. So he will be out before the end of the round. The orcs in the second rank loose spears. The orcs in the front rank march forward. So let's see their missile fire. This is against Genin. 18 will hit you. Let's see, Lynx. 18 will hit you. I'm loving this D20. And this one is being thrown at... Oh, what the hell, since you're here. This is being thrown at Mr. Kyle's character. That is a miss. So we have 2 spears hit. Mark. Oh, Genin only takes a point.
Good.
Lord Corian. Well, you blew the average on the other side. You take 6.
Dang it.
Thud.
Can I get my second bow shot off?
Yes, you said it is second missile.
That also hits with a 21 total.
Wow.
Another 1 point of damage. These arrows aren't good. I got the shitty
Okay.
arrows.
Now, one through each lobe of his ears.
But then he puts down the arrow because he's going to come out with they're coming to us, so he gets out their sword and sword dagger.
Yes, they spend this round. The front melee spends this round closing. That is a rate of fire of 1 for the spears. Hey, Valork and Bajibus appear.
Just
They're
in time.
super effective. Okay, Valork is casting Bless, and that requires a full round. However, their initiative was very, very bad. It was a 1. So Bless will basically complete at the end of this round. So
Nice.
how many first level spells does Valork have? Is it 3 or is it 4?
4.
4, okay. All right, you have Bless and 3 Cure Light Wounds, and you now have 3 Cure Light Wounds spells. Everybody is +1 to hit now.
Nice.
As Valorek holds up his holy symbol, and P-A-S-U Domine.
Thump.
And everyone feels a little bit better about yourselves. So the front rank of orcs is closed. The second rank are hefting up spears, but they're also hefting up shields. So they will probably close in this round. So let's go through the order. But we'll start at the bottom this time and then loop around. So James can give us his take on what Valorek and Bajibus are doing. You're facing a group of 11 orcs.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess with the bless spell out of the way, he's going to go ahead and whip out his short sword and get ready to start hacking and slashing. And is everybody in melee already?
About to be.
Yes. The room is broad enough that 4 can melee at that point. So 4 orcs will be advancing forward to melee, and 4 of you, which would include Valorek. Now, how about Bajibus?
I guess he'll take a shot with a crossbow just for the fun of it.
Excellent. Right into melee? Good. Love to hear that. Mark, how about Genin?
Gina will be hitting things with sword and dagger, and the hirelings are all lined up behind the 4 of us with spears.
All right. TK, how about Outlier?
I'm gonna heal the fighter.
Okay. Lynx, you're gonna do what?
I'm swinging my sword if I'm in melee.
Okay. Then who's next to roll initiative? Whoever it is, just roll it.
Wow.
2.
The orcs will go first, so we're just going to go across, just straight down the line. Genan. It's a bad day to be Genan. Genan is struck with a scimitar. Zigging a scimitar. Jamming it right through you for 3 points of damage. All right. And what is Outlier's armor class? Because
0.
0. Ooh, that
Dang.
might. I don't think that's going to hit, but of course, I rolled one of those just close enough to the bell curve kind of rolls, the ones that I hate. If the dice would just, roll a 1 or roll a 20, come on.
Roll below a 19.
So let's see. I think that's going to miss you high, though it is. But I do want to double check. Yes, that is well below a 19, and you are fine. All right. What's going to happen first? Is Link's going to get healed, or is Link's going to get steel?
I'm going to be fine. I trust in Celestian.
All right. Well, you're missed. And Valoric is missed. Parties for... Oh, wait, no. Well, the spearmen are coming up at the end of this round. So, parties first missile fire. Go ahead and rip that crossbow bolt right off into melee, if you would, please.
How about a 2?
Well, it does miss. So,
Okay.
twang, clack.
You hit the dungeon.
Yeah.
It'd be really bad for
The dungeon takes 1 point of structural damage. Keep this up 30 or 40 years, you might have a hole in the wall. Okay. That was party missile fire. Cure light wounds. Let me see here. Cure light wounds. Casting time 5 segments. It's basically going to go at the end of the round, but you guys are going now. So go ahead and do your melees, if please.
Oh, crap. Will 11 hit? Probably not.
11 from what level fighter?
A 3rd level fighter. Probably
Maybe.
not.
Let's see. Fighter 3, 11. No, it won't. They have shields, so he kind of bashes you back.
I'll roll for the hirelings while I'm here.
All right.
Will a 15 from a hireling hit?
Level 0, 15. Yes, it will, actually.
Okay.
Kind of lunges out of the second rank with his spear, or with her spear.
2 of them hit, 1 for 1 point, 1 for 2 points.
Okay. You hit like a rad roach. Okay. Outlier, show him how it's done.
I'm healing 6 points.
All right.
I missed.
Same here.
Okay. The second ring of orcs moves forward, with the rest of them kind of following on. New round. So you've got 4 orcs arrayed across in front of you, 4 with spears behind them, and then 3 kind of milling about in the background. You don't know what they're armed with. So Lord Corion.
Outlier's spell go off?
Yes, it does.
Links get 6.
Awesome,
Yeah.
thank you.
So Corion, roll initiative for us, please, because I know what the orcs are about to do. They're just probably going to do it after you guys.
Didn't want me to roll 1.
Ah,
Woohoo! I mean, oh. Okay. So here we go down the line. Genan, you're missed. Outlier. Oh, wait, no. No, that actually hit you.
Damn!
Yeah. That 1 in a million shot. That's a scimitar for 2.
Okay.
Scimitars are nasty, though. I mean, that could have been like
Yeah.
time to roll up another character. Let's see. So Lynx is missed. I don't know. This D20, it's like I'm getting a love-hate affair with it, you know? And against Valoric is missed. Now there's Spearman against Jinan. Ooh, that's again. What did I tell you about the side cases? Stab you in the face with a soldering iron. Your armor class is what now?
1.
1. Okay, nope. Then that will miss.
How are Genian's hit points doing?
He's okay for me.
Okay. Well, right after you get done casting that healing spell there, Outlier, you just bring your shield up in time to stop a spear catching you in the forehead. These humans have invaded our dungeon. Kill them all. That is a miss against Lynx. And Valoric.
Word.
What is Valoric's armor class, please?
2.
No.
So that is a spear to Valoric for 5 points of damage. Shut. Tried to warn you. Don't come into our lair. Okay. Counterattacks.
This is the weirdest orc captain we've heard so far.
Kill the men, kill the elves, take the gold for ourselves.
Is the Jeebus shooting a crossbow again? I think that's what comes next.
Hey, a 13.
A 13. Let's see. A 13. Jeebus is second level or third level?
Second level fighter.
Okay, that will hit. Now let's see who it hits.
Nose goes.
Yeah.
It hits the orc. You do not prang somebody between the shoulders.
2 points.
2 points of damage.
To be fair, you don't usually have to worry about a crossbow killing you by accident.
Yeah. That sounds like a challenge. Vince Sneddison, show them no mercy. The dice gods are angry. He's a very aggressive audience member. Wow. But then I don't have to tell that to you. I don't know why, Christopher. Well, I don't know why. Okay. Counterattacks.
It's a great impression, though.
Frankenstein never scared me. But marsupials do. They dart.
Oh, this is great. Genian got minimum damage, which turns out to be 8 points.
Hey.
You turn that orc into 2 half orcs.
Okay, now I'll roll for the hirelings.
I do 6 damage to something.
Okay, that will take that orc down because you had been hitting that orc before. Hello, Serious Mind, high school friend. You'll have to clue me in. I knew a lot of people in high school. If that was aimed at me.
I hit for 6. Bless doesn't give you a damage bonus, right?
It does not. It gives you a 2-hit bonus.
Yeah, just 6.
Yeah, Valoric,
Okay, so
Valoric stabbed for 3.
wow. Okay,
And
yeah.
one of the hirelings for 6.
Ooh.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orcs you guys slay. You literally take out half of the orcs in a single round. Okay, Serious Mind. I'll. new round. Let's go round the table for declarations. What is Genan doing?
Stabby.
And I just want to warn everyone in advance, a giant beast may wander through the dungeon here in a minute. My wife's cat, who thinks it owns the entirety of this table, is now lying just out of shot over to the right there.
Oh wait, knows it owns it.
Okay, I'm guessing Outlier's gonna do some of that dwarven stuff.
I cast sword.
Okay,
Stabby.
and Valoric and Bejeebus.
Twang and a stab.
A twang and a stab. All right. All right. Lord Corion, roll initiative, please. My voice cracked? I don't know what you're saying. I haven't the faintest what you're talking about.
Somebody else rolls next time. 1.
Hey, Susie, do you want to go to the dance? Okay. The orcs.
Oh god.
We were just a little stunned that so many orcs fell last round.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Where'd they go?
Mako and Conan. I did it with my spear. Oh, we lost somebody.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Mark jumped ship for some reason.
Genan fell into the void. The sphere of annihilation just kind of drifts through the dungeon and hits him and just keeps moving.
The gelatinous cube picks him up and carries him off.
Do you ever wonder maybe if the sphere of annihilation wasn't based on Rover from The Prisoner? I always have. I should have asked Gary. Okay, so there he is. He's back.
My character still alive?
Yes.
Good.
You're just saying you had been picked up by Rover from The Prisoner. Okay, let's go around to get declarations. We had twang and stab and shoot and stab and all that, and the orcs won initiative. They're basically they're basically paying putting paid to the idea that they'll defend their home at all costs. They look terrified and they continue to fight, however. Just a quick aside, Dungeon Minister says, Sirius, if you have any embarrassing stories about Bill in school, we will pay you real money, and then they will then pay that money to me in super chats so they don't get banned. It's the natural flow of currency, all back to the creator.
Always
Okay.
get paid for your embarrassing high school story.
Always get paid. Hey, it's emotional labor. It is emotional labor. Okay. So the orcs are looking like they are trying to break off, actually. They're shuffling backwards. They're not turning and fleeing, and they are not surrendering. But they are basically going to spend this round moving backwards. Darn right, Dungeon Minister. Don't you forget it. Praise the Lord and pass the plate. Serious Mind, that's okay. We can. Serious Mind says, I got you confused with my friend Kevin. Sorry about that. You look similar to him. We'll just pretend. So they are basically going to move back, but a fighting withdrawal. Are you guys going to follow them?
How many
I
are
will.
left?
There are 6 left.
I say we move forward, but don't go through the door.
Yeah, let's do one final strike. I don't want to go through that door either.
Colin.
Can we do that, Bill? Is that possible to keep up and get another strike in before they're through the door?
Sure. And Serious Mind, let me know in the comments if you're on our Discord about that. Okay. So they did win initiative. They moved back 10 feet. You guys follow up by moving 10 feet.
Can we charge?
Well, no, because this is all in one round. If they moved back 10 feet and you guys didn't move forward 10 feet, you could then charge. You've got to have some wind up room for it. But they moved back. You guys followed up. It's a new round.
We've kept contact with the enemy. That's all.
You haven't allowed them to break off, but they also haven't fled the field.
Okay.
It gets a little confusing sometimes, folks. And if you're not familiar with the tactical half of the AD&D game board, for lack of a better term, Dungeon Minister said, I'm glad Bill's not the mother. I'm not the mother. I'm the Mothra. I don't even know what that means, but it seemed good at the time. So I know what they're going to do. What are you guys going to do in the next round?
Attack.
Okay, so you're going to strike blows. You've maintained contact with him, so let's go ahead and roll initiative. And I can't remember whose turn it was, so we'll just say James, roll initiative, please.
4.
Not Link.
A 4.
A 4. Okay. They withdraw another 10 feet. Do you guys follow them?
That's through the door.
That is through the door. They are falling back in good order, as they say in the military.
I pull out my bow. I'm going to plink him from the doorway.
Yeah, Bejeebus is definitely firing a crossbow, and I guess Valoric's going to toss a flaming oil.
Okay, those of you firing,
No, oil then, yeah.
Is
Okay, yeah,
it possible
those-
for Genie to pick up one of the orc spears that is down and just toss it at them?
As we all get jammed in the doorway.
Yeah. Actually, it's a bad idea.
yeah, not
Genie's
really.
hanging back with his men
Yeah.
because we don't want to go through that door without a plan.
Yeah, there's the target-rich environment scenario, and then there's what they call the furball, and you don't want to just be firing missiles blindly into that. So, go ahead and take your missile shots, guys.
Ooh.
Got a total of 20.
That will hit.
I have a total of 18 and
Also hit.
2 points.
Peace, Tonka. Thank you.
Yes.
okay. And 6 points of fire damage to something.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Well, that one's doing his best David Lee Roth impression.
Got
I'm
a
on fire!
15 with my oil.
15 with your oil. That will hit.
2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
11.
Wow, that orc dies immediately. He is consumed by flames. Greeting, Chip Schultz. Welcome. Okay, so 2 more orcs fall. There's 4 left. They are breaking and running now. Are you guys doing anything else?
Second round of fire.
It is split fire, so you won't get another volley in this
Okay.
round. So we're on declarations now.
I think we should sort of form up and get through that door in an orderly fashion.
Yeah, I'll take a forward position of some kind.
Okay. Serious Mind asks, what levels and classes are in the group? We are mostly fighters, clerics, and level averages around 3. So 2.5 to 3. I hope that answers your question, Serious Mind. And if I didn't say this already, welcome, Chip Schultz. Welcome to the chat. And as we like to say, roll for initiative. So, new round. These guys are fleeing. Are you guys pursuing?
Yes.
They have 10 feet of distance between you and they. You guys are going to pursue flat out. So pursuit just down the line.
Gina wanted to go through that door at a bit more careful pace, but if Sir Outlier, etc., just running through, he'll follow behind.
I'm not going to sprint after them, but I'll move forward at an orderly pace.
I think we should move into the next room, not
definitely.
pursue, because that'll lead
Okay.
to a trap. I'm worried. Let's get into the next room.
I think we're just moving into the room.
Yeah.
All right. James, any changes to your tactics? Anything?
I'm wanting to check to see how long it takes to do find traps spell.
Find traps.
Just
Find
to
your
be
way
safe.
trap.
Yeah, here it is. 5 segments.
Yeah, so it would basically be initiative plus 5 segments, so it might not go till the end of the round.
I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to cast that just to be safe, just in case they've got something waiting for us in there.
Okay.
They've been getting smarter as we've been going out and coming back in. So
Adaptive orc intelligence.
They are the Borg.
All right. No, they're the Borks. Not to be confused with the Morks. Oh, Mindy. Oh, Nanu. Let's roll initiative. Mark.
3.
Okay. The Orcs are just a step ahead of you. They are in full retreat. You guys are just pursuing. They sprinted the room. You hear a door yanked open. You hear it slammed behind them. They are Audi 5000. Hopefully the show won't get copyright struck for me saying the name brand of an automobile. So the Orcs quit the field. Yeah. Just claim I'm sponsored. Yeah, by the way, Audi, if you've got any dealers who are listening and you'd like a prominent figure in the role-playing game community to show off one of your... Yeah, that's going to happen.
Introducing
Hello.
the Orcmobile.
Hello, fat, balding nerd. Driving Audi TT for a week. Okay, so they flee. The room as much as you left it before. I'm going to move back the Fog of War. For those of you who are not familiar with how we do things here, we have this is not a virtual tabletop. You're not seeing computer graphics. This is miniatures and terrain, mostly by Dwarven Forge, the terrain that is, and different, a gaggle of different miniatures.
And here's where the Beholder shows up.
Don't give them any ideas.
Oh, yeah. Did they go north or did they go south?
You don't know.
Neither of those directions are relevant. The question
Or
is, do they go
east
east
or
or west?
Yeah.
To the east is that small barracks. That's a dead end. It's to the west that opens into another room. That's the furthest we've ever gotten.
Yes, the party has made it to this juncture before, and then there's a room here in the darkness, which of course audience and players, because they've left and come back, don't see. Is that question directed at me, Chip, there? Will I be running it for my family, or is that someone up in the chat? My apologies. So at any rate, which way, party?
Which way did the Orcs flee? Through the west door?
We don't know.
You don't know.
We have to clear at least the east door first because we can't leave anybody in our back.
So let's check into the east door, which was a small barracks.
Yeah.
See if they're hiding in there.
We did
Sir
hear a door.
Outlier,
We did hear a
you and
door.
me.
Mhm.
I was gonna say you and me. Let's close the other door and hold it shut just in case somebody else comes in while they clear the west room.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, but you were gonna say something.
No,
else.
we did hear a door open and close. So wherever they've gone through, the door should be closed.
True.
That's enough of a check that we'll need, I think.
Just showing that wisdom off. That wisdom score.
Is that door to the west supposed to be open, Bill?
Hang on a second. There was a question about the Discord, and I am pasting the Discord in there. I will go around there and adjust the terrain accordingly, guys. So for our new viewers, I am pretty much a one-man band here, Bob Dylan with harmonica and guitar, so I have to get up and actually move this around. It's not quite the same fidelity as you get with computer graphics, but we like to think it's just a little bit better.
I can see why for wargaming you people would have assistants.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just being an assistant for a war game though, and that's what you did for the next 2 hours of your life?
I've done that before. I've run Warhammer. I've GM'd Warhammer campaigns.
How was it?
They were really fun, honestly, but eventually they broke down because you're setting up all new battlefields, and we were kids. We didn't really have the resources, so
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to fire up a video game. Everybody's got a computer.
Mm-hmm. I've played Warhammer, but I've never run it. I've played a couple of strategy games, older ones, but nothing where we've ever needed assistance. So they've all been itty-bitty battles.
Oh yeah, it's Fantasy Battles was great before it went the way of the dinosaurs.
I'm trying to remember. It was a World War II one that I used to play.
Flames of War.
I don't remember. It was an all D6 system. I remember that.
How big were the minis?
They were the original, what is it?
6mm.
Yeah, they weren't.
I think that's Flames of War.
That was fun.
I tried to get everybody in that one, but they were
Okay, so there we go.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. There is the Western Chamber, which you said you explored, and there's my lovely bits of Dwarven Forge terrain, which don't show up that well, unfortunately. So we'll get that tripod in soon. I promise, guys.
I think they look fine.
Your donations are making this possible, guys, and I really appreciate everyone's support for the show. Players, viewers, people who just listen to the show. It's all very awesome. So there you see the still abandoned looking barracks of the Orcs. They did not apparently come this way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen at the door, and if it sounds clear, we'll open it and enter.
It does not sound clear. It sounds wooden.
I should have known not to ask such a simple question.
But detect traps spell detect anything on that door?
Detect traps does not detect any traps on that door.
Excellent.
Let everybody know it seems to be clear.
I think our choices are form up and rush in there, or we try and sneak. Either way, they know we're here because they got away.
I'm sorry. Gene is looking at two people wearing plate armor, and he heard the word sneak. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
I'll just go in first.
Yeah.
Let's form up in a line and throw that door open.
Gene can be the person to open the door because he's got the gloves. He could probably rip the door off its hinges.
What happens?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me an open doors roll, Gina.
I don't have the new number written down.
Just roll a d6 and don't roll a 6.
What did I roll? I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
These gloves suck.
No.
Yeah,
You,
right.
you pull it off, and the glove's still on the door.
Actually, with gauntlets of ogre power, or at least that's what you think they are. Maybe the dwarf was just really strong and he was having you guys on.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I have them typed out right here.
I can look.
Yeah, no, it is open doors on a 1 to 5. So yeah, you yank on that door and it doesn't budge.
Oh, correct that from 1 to 4 to 1 to 5 then.
Yeah, I'll look it up and get on my sheet later. Thank you. So, can he try again?
Yes, it's going to make a hell of a racket continuing to yank on that. But yeah, you can.
This time, chunk, door goes to the side.
Okay. You yank the door open and you've triggered an alarm. There's 2 large mushroom-like creatures. When you yank the door open, there is there's a rope essentially, or a thread, basically a strong line that's attached to tarpaulins of soft black cloth, and it yanks them off of these mushroom-like creatures that begin to shriek. Ree, 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 ree.
Incendiary grenadiers to the front.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can people with oil quiet those things?
Yeah.
Because setting a thing on fire, I mean, that shuts it right up.
Yeah. If I remember this room correctly, it has a door to the north.
Yes, it does. I will move more of the cloth. Hang
and
on.
a very long corridor to the east.
I remember
Yes.
that. I never wrote it down, though.
It's long enough that if I try to build it, it would go off the table, which is why it's not actually built out. So you guys will have to, we make allowances for things like that. Hold on.
If possible, Gina will step in and sort of guard that long hall.
Just let them reveal the 8 giants that are in there first.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably 2 shriekers and 5 giants.
I'll spend an oil to burn one of them, I guess. Yeah.
Well, my thought is
Probably just stab them.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just making a point.
Making
Burn 'em.
an example of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, if you do burn them, they can't really put themselves out.
I
So
wonder if they're tasty.
probably not. Maybe.
I'm reading
When mushrooms
a
get
comic
too
called
big,
I'm reading a comic called
they get
Delicious
wooden.
Dungeon, where the adventurers go and they take stuff and they eat the food in the dungeon. First thing was mushrooms, so mushroom monsters that they captured, and they were very tasty, I guess.
Okay, let me.
It's the myconoids that are tasty.
Is that
Okay,
cannibalism?
so I did move the cloth back a little bit further than you guys technically should be able to see, but the shriekers are shrieking, and you're pouring oil on them and setting them on fire. Then,
Yeah, may as well.
okay.
And
As
Gina
you're
is
doing
watching down the long hall in case someone shows up.
Okay, so Gina, you huge screaming portobello mushroom, says the dungeon minister. As you open the door to look down the hall.
Oh, there's a door there.
Yes, there's a door there. You are startled for a moment because you open it up and 3 rotting ambulatory corpses, at least 3 are standing there. You open the door and the one nearest you just mutters, "Brains." And they all kind of begin to shuffle forward with their arms outstretched.
I point to someone with a higher intelligence score. That one.
They kind of grasp your head, palpate the flesh, and just shove you aside and move on.
Not ripe.
Watermelon. Donk, donk.
No, they do not do that. But their arms, they're outstretched, and they are moaning and uttering in common, brains.
He has weapons out, and he's like, priests.
Brains.
James and I both can turn undead. This will be fun.
Yeah.
Potentially, you can all turn undead.
Yes.
But as zombies are very slow on their feet, this is quite the scene. This is quite the horror movie scene. The Shriekers are on fire. They didn't all just burn up immediately. So they're screaming, and there are these flaming, screaming mushrooms, and the Walking Dead. Who wrote tonight's adventure module? Dario Argento?
I would hope so.
There's a red film lens cover. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Music by Goblin is playing in the background. The heavy Moog sound. So you guys will go first, and at least 6 zombies are shuffling out of the hallway. Let's go through intentions. TK, what you doing? What is Outlier doing?
I'm going to turn undead.
All right.
No
Lord Corion, how about... I'm sorry, what?
No resist. Don't go to the light. I'm going to run over to that door with my sword and get ready to hack or hold the door. I don't know which.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the song there? For everything, turn.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And Majibus will take a shot with a crossbow at something.
Okay. Dungeon Minister saying the feature film on Miss Mistara's horror theater tonight. The Living Dead of the Fungus Dungeon, directed by Dario Argento.
I'd watch that.
There it is. Found it.
I'd absolutely watch that. And Mark, how about Genan?
Genan will stab, will turn undead with swords, and have his hirelings form up behind him and behind Lynx to do the spear stuff.
Turn undead into shoe leather.
Yeah.
All right. The party goes before zombies. Turning goes first. That is a D20 roll. Let's hear it. You gods among men.
I don't turn shit.
15.
All right.
I turn green.
Yeah. You whip it out by the handle and hold it up in front of you and realize you're holding a hairbrush. But yes, a 15 will turn zombies. So you're going to roll 2d6.
Okay. 9.
Oh, wow. So all of the zombies turn around and begin to shuffle back down the hall whence they came.
Okay.
They're not retreating per se, but anyone that wants to hew at them will still get +4 to damage.
Oh,
Or +4 to hit. Bless is gone, by the way. That is over.
Okay. Can the clerics that just turned whack at them?
Oh, no, you're holding up.
Yeah.
The cleric that didn't turn can take a shot at them.
Okay.
Ha ha ha! Where is your god now? But the rest of you are, that is to say, Valoric cannot.
2 damage to 1. Damn it.
Okay.
For 12 for one of them?
Oh, wow. So, Genan, yeah, you just carve through it, and it just kind of like the 2 pieces literally stumble kind of in concert and then fall over on the floor, twitching.
And one of my hirelings stabbed one for 6 points of damage.
Okay, well, that one just kind of reaches up and pulls itself off of your hireling spear and keeps shuffling away as fast as it can get. Also, roll 3d4, please, if you would, James. That is how many rounds that the undead will be gone before they turn around and come back. Now,
6.
if you 6, so they will go for 6 rounds. James, Valoric can turn them again and so on successively as long as he's successful. This particular bunch of undead, unfortunately, Mr. Kyle, you are not able to ever turn again.
I will turn with my sword.
That is fine. But for now, they are shuffling down the hall, and if you guys aren't pursuing them, they are making all haste.
I'd say let's close this door and spike it shut.
That's fine.
Done.
Somebody else can
Start
deal with
hammering-
it.
All right.
Start hammering in spikes.
Okay.
Did you take Sir Average's spare 10?
I got my own.
Somebody
So
take
you
it.
spend
Actually, no, they're left at the longhouse.
Yeah.
You spend a while doing that. It doesn't take you but a few minutes to hammer those in. Right about the time you get the last one done, the choking, the room is almost completely filled with smoke. It's hard to see. There's a burned mushroom stink permeating everything. So seeing and breathing is a little difficult, and you can hear like this pounding on the door. They've come back and are boom, 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 boom. So what are you guys doing?
I'm going to go cast Create Water on the fire hazard.
Well, they've essentially burned out, but you can absolutely do that.
Oh, okay, then never mind them.
Yeah.
I thought
trying to make
they were
mushroom soup?
still. No, I thought them being on fire was currently a problem.
Oh no, it's just they have burned out, but they did produce a lot of smoke when they were burning.
Okay, never mind.
You ever reheat a slice of pizza in the oven and you drop a topping off? Imagine that, but times like 7,000. For both smell and amount of smoke.
Should
Whip the door back
yes.
and forth and get some fresh air in here.
No, not the door with the zombies. Keep
Oh
that
no! I take the
Wrong door.
spikes out.
Wrong door.
Zombies come shuffling back in the room. They've all got clothespins on their nose. Okay.
The other door, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were so sneaky. No one could have possibly heard any of that stuff.
Yeah, nobody heard the hammering, the screaming, the power of Christ compels you.
But Geenan will anyway still listen at the door if he can, and see if not the door with the zombies, but the other door.
Yeah, I mean, I presumed you're not going to walk up to the one that's like thudding like a bongo drum. Hey, what could be back here? Oh,
Can you actually hear besides that bongo drum
Maybe not.
going off?
it is actually kind of difficult.
I don't think I thunk. Hear anything I thunk.
Okay, so you're going over to examine the door, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Half a mo. Sorry, I'm just trying to get lost my place there
And
in my PDF.
when I hit level 3, I'll take pole arm, so that way I can sit in the back.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. So you said you're opening the northern door there to the next chamber, which I imprudently uncovered.
First listening, and I don't think he's going to hear anything, but he listens anyways to make sure.
Oh, okay. Well, let's. You don't hear anything, no.
Let's form up, and I will try to open this door. Sound good?
Mhm.
Has it been 3 turns since I cast detect traps?
It's only been, let's see, you guys fought for a few rounds, you explored. I'll say you've got a turn left.
Okay. Are there any traps on this door?
No, there are not any traps on that door.
Okay.
Then Gene will attempt to open it.
All right. Well, give me a roll.
I rolled a damn 6 again.
It won't budge.
Well, he's going to do it again. He'll show this door who's boss. Never mind. He rolled a 6 again. Gene's out.
Ugh.
He's just too strong. He's like one of those guys with the too many muscles.
Out of those gloves.
He can't get his arms down. Too many muscles.
Take the gloves off and try it again.
Yeah, take the gloves off. Here, open it. He couldn't turn the doorknob properly with the gloves. So the door eventually gets opened.
The door eventually gets open. You wrench the door open, and standing before you are these hunched, pot-bellied, red-skinned creatures with these dead yellow eyes and fangs. They stink of brimstone. You are... you're not surprised, but you definitely told them you were there. They are hissing and spitting. What are you going to do there, Gene?
Close the door. That's not what I expected.
All right, let's roll initiative.
I rolled a 4.
They rolled a 5. So you are getting, I said there's 4. They're small-ish, like kind of like kobolds. So unfortunately, yeah, they're like 3 feet tall. So and what is Genen's armor class?
1.
A 1, right? A 1. Okay, so that's miss. Possible hit. I hate those edge cases. Possible hit. Possible hit. Miss. Miss.
I don't like all this rolling.
Miss.
Punt one into the next county. It'll be
Miss.
okay.
Miss. Hit. Miss. Miss. Hit.
It just keeps going. It's never going to stop.
Okay, so Genen says,
tired of the campaign and wants
I'll
to
check behind this door, opens it up. There's 3 mains subdemons behind the door. They hiss and leap on it. It is the most horrible thing. They are like gouged, like digging their thumbs into Genen's eyes, biting him, clawing him, kicking him, scratch. It's just like he has been bodily put into some kind of awful organic shredding machine. So Genen,
Yeah.
it's a dungeon processor. Adventurers go in this end, and a thin slurry comes out the other. All right. So that was quite a few hits. Let's see. So that is 3. That's 5 points. And
I feel like we're going to be scraping Genen off the flagstones here in a
It's
sec.
going to be.
9, 10,
Oh,
11, 12.
he's totally dead. He's down to like -9 by that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yikes.
Bye. Wait,
Good
hey,
luck.
hey, can you just give me a total of how many hit points damage it did? Like all of those attacks did, to make sure I got the math right?
Sure. It did 5 and then it did 9.
Okay, 14. I had 9 points damage, 9 points hit points, so I went
Yep.
-4, I guess.
Yes, you
You're
went
dead.
to -4. So yes, you have perished.
Yep. Okay. It's these gloves. They're cursed.
so they're cursed. Yeah.
I should have healed you when I offered to.
Yeah, probably, but okay.
Okay.
Please, put on those gloves.
I'll run the hirelings. who are now have no boss. So they'll just
This really did turn into a Dario Argento horror movie.
Yeah.
It's a Giallo film. Just
Well,
pint after pint and quart after quart of Genan's blood just sprays around the room as he's screaming, trying to throw these things off of him.
And since it's Dario Argento, the blood is strangely very bright red.
Yeah. It's like it's like Krylon house paint red.
So Mark, actually, no, not Mark. James.
Yeah.
Which one of your characters wants the gloves?
The only one that would take them would probably be Majivas because he is a fighter.
Pro tip: get rid of the monsters first.
Yeah.
You get to the gloves.
The-
You have to go through the monsters to get the glove.
Well, I guess there's only one thing we can do.
Run. No.
Apply greatsword.
I'm sorry, Bill. Did you say that there were mains demons like we've seen before?
Yeah.
You're familiar with them. Genan was familiar with them.
We fought one. We fought one in the zombie house basement.
Yes. So you're not.
Yeah. Okay.
But did you hit it with a greatsword?
I'll stop talking now because Mark knows something. Genan's
Yes.
dead.
Yes. And
Genan's dying words. We fought in the basement.
I know too. My dwarf doesn't though. So
Okay. So these things with pieces of Genan in their mouth and on their claws and that sort of thing turn and look at the party. And begin shuffling towards you. So rest of party. TK, what is Outlier doing?
I'll cast sword.
Lynx, how about it?
I got a hunch. I'm drawing my silver dagger, and I'm gonna stab.
Okay, and Valoric and Bajibas.
Valoric's casting holy water, and Majibas is. Didn't he pick up a dagger early on in the first few adventures that had something on it?
Poison.
Maybe I was thinking of something else.
Poison orc dagger.
Yeah, I think it was a poison dagger. I
Um,
don't know if that would do anything or not, though.
Okay.
he'll just apply a longsword.
I know what they're going to do. Let's roll initiative.
Apply a longsword directly to the forehead. Apply a longsword directly to the forehead.
5.
Head off.
Head off.
Okay. Head off. Party goes first. Throw that holy water.
18.
That is a direct hit. Holy water is it 1 to 6 or is it 1 to 8? I feel like, let's see.
I think that's in the DMG. I don't think I've got it in the player's handbook.
Remind me to buy some. Dear God.
Yeah, you're a priest. Come on, you got to have
I know. You think I'd make it in my free time?
it.
Holy water, you've been down too long in the midnight sea.
It's expensive.
It is.
It's very.
It is 2 to 7. It is 1d6 plus 1.
All right, a 7.
Oh wow! So yeah, this slams into the middle of one of them, and it screeches like it is painfully loud as this thing boils away into rot and just a column of fetid green smoke. So there's 2 of them left. Anyone else?
Can I
Cast
give my
sword?
turn to Valoric so I can throw another?
He can't in this round, but he can. I mean, if you want to hand a holy water to him to throw in the next round, you certainly can.
I'll just stab with my dagger.
Okay.
8 damage with a sword.
Okay. Your sword rips through him, and it is like it is going through sludge. Just kind of glides through it, and it looks at you. And begins scurrying forward.
Hit AC 8.
That will not hit.
Okay.
Got a 17 for Bejeebus with the longsword.
Okay, yeah, you ram it home in the thing in its pudgy little fanged face, and it like clamps down on your sword, and its teeth grate on it as you're pulling it out, but it doesn't appear to have had any great effect. Counterattacks.
Okay.
This is on Bejeebus. What is Bejeebus's armor class?
Hang on. I think it's 4, I believe. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.
Let's see. That might have gotten you. Please, what did I tell you about the edge cases?
What's sad was I wasted a perfectly good nat 1.
15.
Like -1 armor class. Oh. So good.
Yeah, as you're pulling your sword out, he drags his claws down your arm and rips you for 2 points of damage. And the other is attacking Valoric because Valoric dissolved his friend. Actually, they're demons. They don't give a shit. So, miss. And Valoric's armor class?
Are you muted? 2, I
You're
think.
muted.
Yeah, 2.
That will miss. So Valoric is missed entirely. What y'all doing?
Swing it again.
Any more holy water throwing?
Yes, another holy water, and this time Bejeebus is just dropping his sword while that thing's playing with it, and he's going to fire a silver-tipped crossbow at one of them.
Nice. Okay. Let's roll initiative then. Mark, you look kind of forlorn over there. Why don't you roll initiative for the party, bud?
Roll high, roll high.
No, roll tide. Roll tide.
6.
Oh, the party goes first. These things are quick, but not quick enough. Missile fire, so that's holy water.
Oh, Bejeebus missed.
All right. Well, we can still splash.
No, that was Bejeebus with the crossbow.
Okay.
Valoric got an 18.
That is a direct hit.
Only 3 this time.
Okay. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3. No, lands on 1, and it's like screaming and trying to wipe it off and looking at its blistered hands. Do you guys have any more holy water, just for DM's edification? Oh yes. Valoric rolls the keg around.
Can I take a thing of holy water from Valoric then and throw it?
If Valoric wishes to hand you a pot of holy water or a vial of holy water,
it's up to you.
Yes, but not in this round.
Okay, and that's what I'll do. I'll back up and do that.
All right.
Yeah, I've got 6 left, so I'll hand you one in the next turn.
Yeah.
All right. So that is another claw on Valoric and a bite on Bejeebus. Valoric takes a point of damage. Bejeebus takes a point of damage. Countermeasures. Missile fire first. Or no, it's a new round. That was them in the round.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be throwing holy water and trying to fend them off with the swords and whatnot, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's roll initiative. TK, give us a roll. You guys will go first unless you roll a 1.
I rolled a 2.
That's good enough. Missile fire goes first.
Holy water does how much damage? 1 to 4?
No, holy water does 2 to 7. 1d6 plus 1.
7 provided a 17 hits.
That will hit. That destroys 1 of the remaining 2.
Sorry, that would have been an 18.
Got a 17 with a crossbow.
Okay.
Silver tipped. Does 4 points of damage.
Okay, and holy water
16.
will hit, and the remaining, just the 2 points of damage, even if you minimum, is enough to destroy.
Okay.
Phew.
So that is the end of the mains demons. Looking in the room that poor Genin had struggled to open, there is there's a circle on the floor with five black candle stumps arranged in it, and the door, the way the door opened looked like it erased part of the circle when it was dragged open. So,
Smart.
what do you guys wish to do?
Well, I guess Bejeebus will retrieve the gauntlets. And
Yep.
Okay.
The stats.
What about retrieving the Genin?
We'll take him out too.
We'll send him out with his followers, and we can keep going. Or no, actually, not even. Just leave him. Let's treat this as a triage point.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, we have to, put them on the table for right now because we'll have to come back out.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we are at the bottom of the hour. And I think after fighting off demons, this is probably a good break point. Well, there you guys have it. That's Castle Greyhawk, a nightmare wonderland where stuff can just jump out at you. I hope everyone in the audience thoroughly enjoyed that. I realize, our players got wrapped around a little bit. Mark, I am so sorry about the loss of Genin. Thank you for not extending the middle fingers there. That might get me demonetized. But next week we shall carry on. And will they find a prisoner amongst the orcs that they can free?
Yes, a paladin with all 18s.
Nice. Do it.
I've been rolling up characters. Not quite there.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for stopping in this evening. Thank you to our players. Thank you to our audience. Those of you who've just stopped by for the first time. This is just kind of the way we roll. This is authentic AD&D. We don't practice, we don't script, we don't we go with it. The dice tell a story that neither the dungeon master nor the players expect, and that's how it should be. So on behalf of myself and my co-host Kyle Schuant, who could not be with us tonight but will be back tomorrow, and we will be answering all the questions that you folks have been providing on our YouTube comments page about first edition AD&D rules. We're going to be doing that. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to our group. So tomorrow night, AD&D Confidential, and then Steve Marsh on Thursday night. And won't that be a lot of fun? Have a great evening, guys. Thank you to the players. Thank you to the audience. Peace out.